Howdy folks, welcome back to the farm. And on the farm, we do things that aren't quite to the T, you know what I'm saying, in the book. This is a little something that's not in a book. Usually you have to do your own research to assemble one of these. You have to have the bike, then you got to buy the engine. Oh, just explain what it was. Inside this box we have a bicycle engine. I do believe it's 80cc two-stroke. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing video, and, well, I'll show you the donor bike we have. It's not really a donor bike. It's a pretty good one. It's a Sears. Stay tuned till the end to see how it really all goes together. Alright, open the box with our little specialty case knife. Clean the blade off. Get some of that oil I just touched through it. There we go. Alright, let's see what's inside our box here. Oops, bumped the camera stand there. Fitting instructions for A50 and A80 and A100 bicycle engine kits. I don't think the engine looks quite like that, but you guys get a general idea of what's going to be in here. Basic instructions on how to assemble this. Clutch, air filter, air mixture ratio. I'll let you all read this little stipulate here. So it's focused in, and you can go ahead and pause the video if you want to go ahead and read this. Oh yeah, it's in here all right. Okay, first out of the box, we're looking like some, possibly some brake cables, maybe a throttle cable, maybe. This is going to be probably an ignition coil, I assume, or maybe, a dead stop. Okay, yeah, this is up here with your throttle. Boop. Oh, a speedometer, yeah! I was hoping one of these, but dang, man, that box got crushed. Make sure that's alright. Oh yeah, it's alright. Just got a little beat up on the way here. Nothing to worry about. Oh yeah, this ain't no cheapo depot, man. So basically what we got here, it looks like the gas tank lid, filter, fuel filter, spark plug, brackets, small stuff that goes and helps with the assembly process. Alright, y'all ready for this? You ready for this? Move this out of the way. Oh, I don't like to see that. Well, I touched my finger on it. You guys can really see what's going on in the background. There's that Native American prayer rug my grandpa gave me. Look at that. Well, I don't even know what that is. I've already touched it, so who knows what's going to happen. Very, 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 very good chrome looking stuff. Very mirrored. Bag of parts with two rubber deals that go on the inside of the tire, the inside of the rim spoke. Good boxes for Christmas. Awesome. This is our gas tank. I was wondering what this was. Four studs, and then you got a little spit out here. our carburetor. And our ignition coil. Awesome. So, got our chain. Assume this is a muffler guard. Oops. Two I assume throttle handles. Yeah, this one. This one's got some white thing sticking out of it. Oh, they were even nice enough to include us a handbrake. That's awesome. Okay. Well, this just showed up like that. Right. Let's set that down for now. Here's our muffler. Very muffled. Chain guard. Extra little box. Okay. Looking at the way the rest of these are, you can see there's a washer, and then it goes straight to the flat metal. If I was a betting man, I would say we're probably going to mimic what they got going on there. So there's that washer. Here's the flatty. So it goes that side up, just like that. This nut here. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably how it is. It's probably the same way with this piece like this, sticking up, flat bit. And then the nut. So you get kind of an assembly that looks like a little bit like this. You know, you move it accordingly. So that is the chain tensioner, the chain rides on this. So that's everything for the unboxing process. If you could see behind, you would see a bed full of parts. Empty box. I will say I am very happy with the way they packaged that. I mean, it doesn't look like anything was bent or broken, or the only thing that I have a little bit of concern with is this, whatever that is, but it doesn't harm the way it works. It just cosmetically doesn't look good. Okay, let's get the donor bike in here, and I'll show you what we're working with. All right, and here it is, folks. Kind of move my tripod a little bit. There we go. So it's got the headlight in the front. That's a Sears 5-speed. 1969, I do believe, and it is gorgeous. Absolutely just gorgeous. The chrome on it's still good. The guy I bought it from, he was an older gentleman. I think he had owned it for pretty much most of his life. He put brand new tires on when he sold it, before he sold it to me. Look at the way these cables are. I mean, you just don't see them like that without being broke or frayed. And they work, I mean, just beautifully. So the engine kind of goes down here in this little area, and the chain grabs onto a piece that goes inside the well there. It spins it, and that's how you pretty much you get a motorbike, if you will. The only new reproduction piece on here, something that's not original, like these tires, these are new old stock, is this. It's LED. Doesn't matter really. I mean, it adds to the look of the bike. I thought it was original when I bought it, but when I messed with it, I see that it's brighter. It's definitely not one of those older bulbs, but this is our donor. I'm going to try to save on the paint as much as I can, but I think this is going to be a really, really, really cool looking bike when it's done. So stay tuned and watch till the end to see how it comes out. Well, excuse the mess here on the floor, these little white particles. It seems that a piece of foam decided to spontaneously explode in my living room. No, I'm just kidding. I moved a piece of foam and it scraped against the TV here, and it shredded, and it sent foam everywhere. So that's good. As you can see, we've got our Sunny D container holding our wheel and everything assembly up. You know, safety first, you know, that's positively. Back to square one. Here's the engine. As you guys can see, it is quite heavy. One hand, that is almost too much for that one hand. Really pretty well built. I mean, never used. Probably they make each one of these handmade at the factory. It doesn't look like it's half-assed, is what I'm saying. So I figured we'd go over the safety steps together. You know, go over a safe time so that the viewers and myself know how this is going to go. So pull up a stool here, read a story for you. Okay, so starting off, you guys know, here's the first page. Please take the time to read the instructions before starting on your project. Some mechanical ability is very desirable, and to properly install the engine, some buyers can complete the job in 2 hours, whilst others may take it 2 days. It is not important how long it takes. You will gain great pleasure and satisfaction from doing the job right. Have fun. The easiest installation is performed on the standard V-frame, 26-inch bike with 25mm round tube frame. It can be mounted to some other bikes, but it's best to stick with a standard bike. Some motors come with configurations. Come with a frame adapter plate set to configurations for fitting to non-standard oval or larger tube. If time and care is taken, this is really small, with initial installation and ongoing maintenance, you should have many thousands of kilometers of trouble-free operation. God dang, that was quite the intro there. Sorry, I was reading the back manual. Okay. So, step one. Installing the rear sprocket. They're showing a kind of a fitted engine, what a final product would look like. Installing rear sprocket. There are 2 rear sprocket rubber packers. Cut one of them and only one. Cut only between the drilled holes. So don't cut into a drilled hole. Drill between the 2 holes. Step 2. Place the cut inside. Cut one inside of the spokes. So take that cut one and just place the other packer on the outside. Thread 9 bolts through the sprocket and use the half-moon backing plates on the inside. Tighten all 9 bolts, moving across in a star fashion and little at a time to allow for even pull down. Once the sprocket is tight, spin the wheel and check if the sprocket runs true. Deviation can be no more than 1.5mm both ways. Any side-by-side excess deviation can be corrected by spinning the wheel and then tightening the sprocket where needed in order to get the correct alignment. Make sure the bolts are tight. Notice that concavity or indentation of teeth in rear sprocket inwards towards the spokes. This helps keep the chain closer to the inside of the wheel and spokes and allows for better clearance of the rear of the bicycle frame. Okay. And it shows you kind of, here's how it looks when completed. Nice, tight, and true. Mounted engine to frame. So this next step pretty much shows you how to mount that. It's really easy. Just stick the engine here, and bolt. But it does also have, if you have you have to use the 3 bolt adapter, you have to drill through your frame, straight through, bolt it, then 6 washers, and then your engine. It also goes on to talk about how if you don't have the one that has the screw-on brass piece for your spark plug, they'll send you one that has a normal tip on it, just like you'd see in a car, and it's okay. But that's just there if you get sent the other one. Clutch cable connection should look like this. It should be straight back, not sticking out, or like this. It should be sticking back. And you can see here that chain tightener just kind of keeps it, taut, where it's not just flopping around. It's got a little bit of, tightness to it. Talking about mounting the muffler and what not to do, with your drill gun. Carburetor installment. This is really useful. We'll get to this here in a little bit, but they're talking about having it all the way out and having this piece all the way out and then putting it back in. And then you get on to maintenance, which is right here, head down. But the most important part of this whole process that makes this kind of a, oh man, I don't want to mess that up, is installing the rear sprocket. Because if you mess the spokes up, once one gets untightened, the rest of them go. It's like, I don't understand. So you make sure you just get it nice, tight, and taut right here in this area and not mess it up. You'll be okay. The rest of the project goes okay. Because once it's all installed, it's okay. You can work on the other components, but the chain to the engine to the sprocket, if it's not right, the whole thing is off. So keep this around. We'll read up on it, but let's get this back tire off. All right, and I found the murder weapon. It's right here. No, I'm just joking. Okay, so this piece is cut. I've used my very fair pair of scissors, which may or may not be a case pocket knife. Bring our mighty wheel back over here. Ooh, I like that clicky click noise. Okay, back to business. Get this sucker laid out here. So according to our manual, it says cut it, place inside the spokes. Just like that. Where it's kind of coming up this way towards this stub, not down towards the other gear. Place the other on the outside, so just like this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Let's see, we've been this way like this. Hide the ugly side. You can see which side is the ugly side. See, it's got, one side's got this, the other side's got this hair. I'm gonna go like this. Okay. Thread the 9 bolts through the sprocket. I'm going to assume it's this bag of nuts and bolts. Since we're looking for 9. And use the half moon backing plates on the inside. So we'll get all our parts out here. These are what they mean by the half moon brackets. These go up inside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Now I assume, because these go on the inside, that you're going to have something like this. Yep. So it's just 3. Let's go on the inside. Thread the 9 bolts through the sprocket and use the half-moon backing plates on the inside. Tighten all 9 bolts moving across in a star fashion. Now, they don't tell you what washers and whatnot, or what washers and what fangly bobs you're supposed to use. They just give you a big old bag and let you loose. What I mean by that is, it really is just a big old bag of hardware. Just kind of want to see what we're working with here, And we'll be right back when we get kind of a mock-up. All right, so this episode's gonna be a little bit long. Sorry, hang in with me here. It is a bicycle motor kit. So here's a mock-up of what we got going on here. Let me bring you a little in here. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so you see we got 1, 2, and 3 bolts. Those are fed up through this piece here into this piece, being held on in all 3 spots with one of these half-moon brackets. And another one's going to go here. It's going to be another one that goes here. So we'll get all that done. We'll get it loosely put together. Don't over-tighten it because, like I said, these little spokes here, once they bend and once they're untight, that's it. The whole thing's done. So be very careful. All right, so check it out, guys. So it's kind of mocked up here, nothing too spectacular yet. So basically what they mean by star pattern is if you start over here, they want you to do this one next, this one, and here to here, 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 and so forth. Cross, 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 until you eventually get where, stand this up. Eventually where you get to where this is true to the wheel center, so when you spin, it doesn't break. So let's get it tightened up. Alright, so it took a little bit longer than I expected. I had to go back and, you remember how we had all these bolts sticking out? I forgot to put the sprocket in. Make sure that this lip side is facing towards us, because the teeth point inwards from this point. Just kind of make sure it's mocked up. It's not really just messed up or anything, and just kind of get it there, and then take your little wrench you got. I'm going to change out socket heads here. Okay. Boop, boop. When's the last time y'all seen one of these? It is a one... not even going to go ahead and pronounce that. So, put your deal on here. And just kind of tighten it up. And don't tighten it all the way down at one time. Just kind of give it a couple turns. Just like that, just where the nub sticks out. You kind of want to do that all the way around until you get a nice, even, uniform finish all the way around. So we'll just keep going. Kind of give it a little shake there. And just kind of working in the star pattern, you know, doesn't have to exactly be a star, but don't go tightening each one, you know, all the way, you know, 1, 2, 3, you know, don't do that. Kind of pick yourself a little pattern and evenly do it. My wrench needs some oil. Alright, so kind of a crisscross pattern, and when it's tight and well did, I'll be right back with y'all. Alright, well that took way longer than expected. At this point in the video, I think we're like 29 minutes in. I think I just spent 38 minutes getting this true to the wheel. It's not exactly correct, but I mean that's about a hair off. And after 38 minutes of looking at this and spinning it and spinning it, my eyes hurt. So, the second part to this is to mount the wheel back onto the bicycle and then get started to put the engine and all that together. Be back when that happens. Alright. 2 hours later, the bike moves on its own power with the Spigot, the Sprocket springy sprue thing. Okay. I'm going to sit down on the stool here for a second. That process right there should not have taken 2 hours. I started at 9:49 and 11:39 on the dot. I've just put the wheel back on and I've, set it down. You guys can see. It rolls just fine, no clearance issues. There is no reason why that should have taken 2 hours. This manual does not say to put the long side of the bolt out or in instead of going this way. So I had the head facing inside and the peg sticking out. Well, there's not enough clearance between here and there to allow for that peg. So I had to take all the bolts back out, flip them, and where the peg goes inside and goes out that way. Yeah, I'm appalled that that's not wrote in the directions here. It doesn't say which way to put them. You have to look at this tiny little image he's got here, and you have to see that the head of that bolt is on the outside and not the inside. So that is done. Thank the Lord. Now we can go on to mounting the engine and turning to page 2. Okay, now it's time to fit the engine. Don't mind my sawzall. I was going to go a different route once I realized that those pegs were too far, but then I decided, you know what? Don't cut nothing up. Just do it right. I think Jason might be here. Really? Wow, holy crap. This just does not want to come out. Absolutely. As soon as I'm ready to start filming, my camera says 5%, so gotta love that. It's coming together. Alright, all the bolts are tight. Holy smokes, people. That took way longer than I expected. 2 hours and 30 minutes later, the engine is on. Woo! this wonderful bike. This right here is a Sears. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. This is a Sears 3-speed mountain bike, but it's got the simplex gear system on it. This is a well preserved bike. This bike was made in 1967, and it was sold for somewhere around 150 bucks. You could order them by catalog. So you guys can see, I've got my own device on here, and it's this little engine kit. I think I paid probably about 150 bucks for it. It comes with the engine, the chain, the gear, the tensioner, initial box, these handles and pedals. Beautiful.